welcome to the final session of the B series. I'm so glad you've made it this far. I know some of these topics have been stretching us and some of them challenging us, and that's good because that's how we grow. So, way to go. So, let's be honest, the final one, self control, doesn't often get the spotlight much. It's kind of the least flashy of the nine fruits of the Spirit. Love, that inspires some songs and a lot of movies. Joy and peace, man, we want that. We long for that. Kindness, patience, we just admire those. But self control, that one kind of feels like a chore more than a gift. Like eating your vegetables, not necessarily, but not exciting. And yet, self control might just be the key that unlocks all the others. Because without it, love becomes reactive, and joy fades in hard season, and peace just evaporates under pressure, and kindness will get hijacked by frustration, and patience, it disappears the moment things don't go our way. Self control is the Spirit's invitation to respond, not just react. It's the quiet, steady power to say yes to what's right and no to what's easy. And in a world that tells you to follow every feeling and indulge every impulse, self control is rebellion in the best possible way. So today, let's lean in and ask, what would it look like to be someone who chooses what's right even when no one else is watching? When we think about self control, we tend to laugh it off. That's just me. Oh, I can't help myself. Whether it's eating too much or saying too much or spending too much or just reacting too quickly, we've all had those moments where we felt out of control. In fact, our culture even celebrates that. From songs to ads, we're told to give in, indulge, just do you. And Paul says something different in Galatians 5 when he tells us that self control is a mark of God's Spirit living in a Jesus follower. It is a fruit of the Spirit. The Greek word Paul uses is a word which means mastery over our desires and our passions and our appetites. It's the ability to say no when everything in you wants to say yes. And then here's the kicker to this: all of us have areas where we struggle, whether it's our mouth, our mood, our money, our relationships. There are things that try to control us every single day. So, why is self control so hard? Because there's a war inside of us. Paul spells it out clearly. The spirit and the flesh are in constant conflict, he says. The flesh wants what's easy and immediate and selfish, and the spirit wants what's holy, lasting, and good. And temptation, well, temptation doesn't always play fair, does it? It's always promising something that it can't deliver, and it always shows up when we are the weakest. But here's the good news: God always provides a way out. And we know this because of 1 Corinthians 10:13. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to man, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. Look, this isn't just motivational stuff. It's a promise. You are never without a choice. There's always an off-ramp. The real question is are we going to take it? And here's what really hits home. Sometimes we say we lost control, but often we just gave it away. We traded long term peace for a short term fix, but Jesus didn't die so we could live enslaved to our appetites. He died to set us free. Self control isn't about white knuckling your way through life, it's about remembering that you're free and walking like it. I mean, think about Jesus. In Matthew chapter 4, he was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted. And after 40 days of no food, he's been fasting. He's tired, he's hungry, he's alone, and the evil one shows up with all the shortcuts and all of his offers. But Jesus responds every time with the same weapon: the word of God. In fact, Matthew 4:7, here's what he says: "It is written." That was his out, and it can be ours too. And so here's the invitation. Remember that self control is not about willpower, it's about the Spirit's power. Maybe memorize 1 Corinthians 10:13, and when temptation hits, just say it out loud. Know that you're not alone because everyone struggles. You're not the first, and you're certainly not going to be the last. And then look for a way out because it's always there. And most of all, stand firm. Jesus set you free so you could live free. Look, the world doesn't need more people who talk about faith. It needs more people who walk in freedom, people who keep it together, not in their own strength, but in the Spirit of God and the fruit of self control. That's what self control looks like. And that's what our world needs now. Well, I want to thank you for walking through this journey with us. Over the last 9 weeks, we haven't just studied the fruit of the Spirit, we've been invited into a different way to live, a way that pushes back against the noise and the anger and the selfishness of the world we're in and says, there's another way. And it starts with who I choose to be because the world doesn't need more people who believe in Jesus. It needs more people who are becoming like him. People who don't just believe right, they actually live different. And so the real challenge begins. Let's keep the Spirit growing these things in you. And what things are those? I'm so glad you asked. One final time from Galatians 5:22 through 23. You know it, so let's say it together. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self control. And above all, remember this: you don't have to manufacture that fruit. You just have to stay connected to the vine. Jesus will do the growing. You just keep showing up. Let's be who our world needs right now. Let's be the people he called us to become. Well, I hope you enjoy this final study together in the B series, and I'll see you soon.